Nat 5 collab families, so it only makes sense for us to round out the list and rank the Nat 4s now. Quick disclaimer. Actually, no disclaimer. I'm sick of disclaimers. Starting us off, which is not where you want to be in the rank. Well, actually, one disclaimer. This list is based off of impact. First of all, starting us off, which is not where you want to be on a list of rankings, it's the Magic Order Enchantresses. And this might be a little bit of bias coming through, because I have two of the light one. So this placement on the list might be a little unfair for the Enchantresses. There's only two Nat 4s in this entire family. Neither of them is that impactful in the grand scheme of things, I'd say. The Nat 5s in the family are really good, though. So maybe a little bit of time and some elbow grease is all they need to become respectable Nat 4s, but for now, I think this is a good spot for them. Next, it's another family with only two Nat 4s in it. It's the Mercenary Queens. Solveig and Astrid are the fire and wind ones, respectively. The fire one is a damage dealer, and the wind one can detonate dots. So both are interesting under very specific circumstances. The 5 stars in this family are off the charts. The 4 stars leave a little to be desired, and that's okay. And if you're curious, the wind one actually has a spotlight on the channel. Then we've got the Desert Warriors. Their scaling on skill 1 just changed in the most recent balance patch, so it now scales with attack and HP, which makes a little bit more of synergistic sense for when you go to build one of these guys. And I still think that the light one could potentially work with the Water Slayer if you're planning on incorporating the buffed Borgnine into any of your comps. Moving right along, it's the Magic Order Elementalists. Lumina actually has a really cool passive. It's called Chain Reaction, and it essentially spreads dots to enemies as they take damage. So basically, it makes continuous damage effects contagious. Very cool idea. This family may just need a minute to breathe, because at the time of recording, they're still pretty new. I'd say that it would make sense for the 4-star Gladiatrices to make it around here on the list. The 4-star varieties of this family have not seen quite as much play as their 5-star sisters, even though they have potentially really cool effects like AoE stunning for 2 turns. Aurelia is the light gladiatrix, and she offers exactly that, but the activation rate is a little bit low, and I think folks are looking for something a little more reliable following an AoE strip. And then the water one sounds kind of hype too, in the way that it inverts the elemental relationship between water and wind. Let's move on to the one we've all been waiting for. It's the Steel Commanders, specifically Evan. I've worked too dang long and hard to not talk about Evan. I just wish he was better. The passive on the Dark One allows him to attack additionally on his turn, and if he's attacking a light attribute monster, it deals 100% increased damage. Now, that additional hit can't be counterattacked, though I think the other two can. So that additional hit always lands as a critical. So in theory, you could put him on full crit damage with 0 crit rate and just watch the numbers fly out thanks to that additional hit. Unfortunately, his scaling is what's keeping him back. The Wind One in this family is also a 4-star. Let's move on. Nah, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about the Wind One. His name's Hector, and I actually think that his 3rd skill has quite a bit of potential. Has a little bit of attack bar reduction, increases the enemy's cooldown times, and then reduces your team's cooldown times. So this is where the Steel Commanders are going to land for now, but I definitely think there's a lot of room for improvement in the future. Okay, now we're getting into a pretty cool portion of the list. Next up, it's the Chaco Knights. I think we can all agree that these monsters have a great design. In fact, I'm a little bit inclined to say that they might have even inspired the Second Awakenings for the Living Armors, but I have nothing to base that off of other than the fact that they both feature floating shields. Coincidence? Maybe not. Who knows? The Dark One offers some long 3-turn defense breaks, a stun, and more, plus max HP scaling damage. But I think the standout from this whole family is probably the Wind One, thanks to a 19% backup speed lead and attack bar boost that includes an attack buff and a crit rate buff. And at the time of recording, it's actually seeing some play in cleave comps. That's how you know we've gotten to the juicy part of the list. Now, the Black Tea Bunnies are actually a really stacked family. The Fire One has even seen use in raids, the Water One freezes and has a passive that'll benefit from that freeze and also keep enemies frozen for longer. And the Dark One evens out HP ratios and does damage. I've actually gotten cloven by a Dark One in the past. Next, let's talk about the Magic Order Sword Singers. These monsters are still pretty fresh in the game, but I just want to point out the Fire One's passive is really cool on paper. I admittedly have not been in a situation where I've been staring down the barrel of a loaded fire Magic Order Sword Singer, but she offers increased crit rate based on your speed, and then if your crit rate would exceed 100%, the rest is adapted into crit damage. That's pretty hot.
Chat,
I didn't know you guys were gonna be here. Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come To Us Evan, and I'm happy to see you guys. Michael Start. What's up, Carnegie? Let me say hi to folks in chat real quick. Sen Croson, Avery, Cheyenne, that girl, welcome back. Bane, everybody. We're live on both Twitch and YouTube, by the way. Rick C, what's going on? Rune, Majestic Unicorn. Welcome back, Jessica. Glad to see you guys here today for some account reviews and progression tips. It's been a second since we've gotten a chance to do one of these. And if this happens to be your first one, here's how we normally do it around here. I hang out in chat channel 10. You tell me what you're having trouble with in Summoner's War. I'll take a look at your account. I'll jump on your island and I will do my dangdest to answer your question. It also helps me if you let me know what your IGN is, or rather what your Twitch or YouTube handle is, so that way I know who I'm talking to. So good to see you. There's the live Evan. What's up, Brandon? What's up, L-Dog? Actually, Brandon, so nice of you. Brandon asked how I was doing. I'm doing well, all things considered today, actually. I had my first cavity filling at the dentist yesterday. First time in probably 10 plus years. No, probably even more than that. Probably even more than that, to be honest. I don't think I've had a cavity since maybe high school would have been the last one that I had, thereabouts. And it was good. It was good. They dug out a bunch of tooth decay, filled it up, and now I'm good. They used a ton of numbing agent though. I'm talking they used 3 times the amount of numbing. My forehead all the way up here was numb. My hair was numb. It was crazy. But I typically burn through that stuff kind of quick. I sure am talking a lot about something that ultimately doesn't have a lot to do with today's stream, but hopefully that's giving people time to jump in. Dank Sage, thank you for that information. What's going on? Please help me, says Sniffle. Let's do this. What can I help you with? Looks like we're fairly new to the game. 331 days. Level 71 right now. You're able to clear TOA normal, TOA hard, and you're also able to do the Abyss dungeons. So you might be wondering where to go next, and so I'll kind of answer as if that's the case. What's up, Ming? How are you? Giant says this is gonna be good. Yeah, I hope so. And let me tell you, this coffee is gonna be extra good. I also just got this mug recently. I don't know if they want their name dropped on stream, but you know who you are if you gave me the mug, and I appreciate you very much because we were out of cups, and it's been great. Salvia Stellamaki. Alicia, you're right about the bill. You're right about the Alicia, you were 100% correct. Dude, I didn't even know what had happened. I don't know if that was inflation or what, but man, my insurance better come through, let me tell you. I'm pretty sure it will, but dang, Alicia. Alicia got that one, that's hilarious. How to rune Sath? We can talk about how to rune Sath. You know, people differ on how you should rune Sath. I say that it's more of a stat thing. Sath is more after stats than anything else, but I like him on violent. Some people say double will is the way to go, and I don't think that that's incorrect at all. I think that's it. Evan only has 1 cup. Dude, I got 2 cups today, and this is my 2nd cup of coffee. We are chilling. Let's do this. Oh, Wood, this is US server based. It is in the beginning, but if there's enough interest, I usually go over to the Europe server as well. I haven't been to the Asia server in a while, but I do have an Asia server account as well. Okay, so let's figure this out. Let's see what you can do. Let's see where you should go next. I do see that there's a path for you to increase the speed of your spiritual realm team. I know that's not usually a priority for people. I just find it's such an easy change to make that I usually am quick to recommend it. All you have to do is take out the Riley and put in Seek the Fire Hellhound, and you'll see your time it'll just fly by. But also you could take out Spectra maybe? Or maybe the Kali. I'll leave it up to you, and you can put in Lauren. Oh God, he's hot. You're so sweet, man. You're funny. What's up, by the way, Bane? So Madara says, Ayo, question, would you consider doing auto-engraving artifacts for units having trouble who to put? You know, that's an interesting question. That is an interesting question. I wonder
there's a lot going on with artifacts though. So like, that's a good suggestion. Let me think on that for a second. I could maybe think about like, yeah, I did. I got this Squidward meme. That was pretty good. Let me think on that for a second. And the reason why I'm, is because sometimes like there's a lot of things that go into it in terms of like, you don't want to just do it based on the main stat, right? Because I think auto engrave for the most part is based on the main stat for people. Well, I think there's room for that suggestion actually. I think there's room for that because I mean, it could still take an aggregate of like how people are putting artifacts on their monsters. If they're prioritizing additional damage, they could look for as many additional damage sources as possible in the artifacts and make that happen. So I think that's not a bad suggestion at all. Sirs Luke. Sup, Evan, how you been, my man? Any spicy accounts so far? We're on our first account right now, actually. Thank you for bringing me back into it, man. Sometimes you guys always bring interesting stuff into the chat, and so I like get distracted by it, and I'm happy to be distracted in that sense. But sometimes I feel bad because I need to tell you how to increase your Steel Fortress team potency so that way you can break into the Abyss. So as you guys know, Abyss dungeon bosses are actually like, they are resistant, or I should say immune to dots. So the dot team won't necessarily work there. Instead, you could use something that features like two-way zinc. You could include the two-way dark mystic witch as well. Gina, I always forget Gina's name. But for more details on that sort of thing too, we do actually have some YouTube videos on the channel that you can watch that go into really in-depth review. Truly, your teams look really good. I'm curious about what you feel you need assistance with. So let me just do a jump in real quick and see if I can find any idiosyncrasies with how things are ruined, maybe like some points that we could kind of improve something. Let me see here. Oh, Madara says, I'm a returning player and I missed that update in Trouble of Understanding. Not a problem. Sorry, I'm just catching up on chat real quick. Oh, thank you. I saw that question got answered. Oh, I know, Avery. Hi, this is my account. What's going on? Too much animes? Dude, that's a great name. That's my kind of problem. Too much animes. I definitely need assistance with my runes. So what's your goal right now? Do you have a current goal? Is it like improving your dungeon times? Is it like breaking into RTA? Anything like that? Let me know what you're working on and I can try to help a little bit. Like some key points that I go to, right? Like Veramos nowadays, we like to rune Veramos on Rage. We like him to do a lot of damage. Now the problem with crit damage is that it doesn't really mean anything without crit rate. So that means that we're gonna have to change our priorities here a little bit for Veramos if we wanna bring him up to kind of modern day standards and have him be a damage dealer in addition to a support unit. And that's his biggest strength, is that he's flexible like that. I think that's a great idea, Too Much Animes. I would echo that same sentiment. What Too Much Animes said is that they feel like they should work on their dungeon teams in order to get better runes. Because it is definitely something that like, it feeds into all other places of the game. If your dungeon teams are good, then your PvP is gonna get better. Then your guilds are gonna get better. Everything. Does that mean working on Necro first? Not necessarily. I would say what you could do, I would say that instead of Necro, you could kind of focus on whatever dungeon you think you're kind of lacking in at the moment. Like if your Swift runes aren't quite there, you can do a little bit of Giants, and then maybe the next month you move into Dragons. That's how some people like to farm. I kind of go more based on feel, but like I think just some general like improvements for your monsters that I could see. The HP on the Veramos is good. The speed on the Veramos is actually good too. We're just missing crit rate. And I think we could probably find the key offenders here. So like for instance, this rune, this slot 1 violent rune is actually not offering too much for what you're trying to do. To me, this rune kind of reads as something that was just here to kind of complete the set, right? Speaking of completing the set, offset matters a lot less in PvE than it does in PvP. So here, you don't even necessarily need to have Veramos on violent something. He could just be on violent with 2 runes that don't go together, as long as they have the right stats. That's what I would recommend for you. So while this one offers like good speed, we'd ideally want something that has crit rate, so that way you maximize the crit damage that you're getting here. That's what I'd make a recommendation for you. So the HP you want to keep high, speed you want to keep around here, and I think you can do that. I think you'll be able to sort by runes with speed and crit rate. and go for as much crit damage as possible. You could even swap him entirely to Rage. That would be my recommendation. Let's go and look at someone else. Let's see what else we got here. We've also got a Lauren. We've got Crow. Crow's actually looking pretty great. The only thing that I'd be curious about seeing is if we could get him a few more speed, but I think this should be fine. And when I say a few, I do truly mean like a few, right? Doesn't need to be crazy. If you're doing a Necro comp, by the way, you just want to make sure that your Cannon Girl moves ahead of everybody else on your team. Oh, Genesis Prime says, Evan, can you please mind me yawning and turn to your left? Dude, I tell you what, next time I yawn, I'm sure there's gonna come a point in this stream where I yawn. I'll give you a genuine yawn at some point, and I'll try to remember. Wait, so my left is this way. Is that chill? Is that chill? The Leo position is OP. See, I should have known you were up to something. Genesis, I should have known you were up to something. One does not, you're asking, this guy is revealing his whole hand now. It's clear as day to me. I can't believe you, Genesis. Also, welcome to the stream, by the way. It's good to see you, dude. It's going great. Evan, I have a Win Nobara gameplay replay for you. I would love to see that, to be honest. I love the Win Nobara. I'm pushing this agenda of the Win Nobara that like I think she's gonna be great. In RTA up against specifically like debuff comps. Okay, so I think that's a place to begin. So let me give you that tip, right? So we got the Veramos already. Let me give you one more. For your Abigail, your Water Cannon Girl, you're gonna wanna have her move ahead of everyone else on the team if you're using her as your leader. So just make sure that she's moving the fastest. She also really does want high crit rate and crit damage, but like, you know, I understand that something's gotta give. Let me move on because I know we've been there for a little while. Okay, sorry guys, I'm trying to get to the top here. Oh, Bane shared an arena replay. Wow, that's a spicy comp. Wait a minute. That's a spicy comp that you're up against? What the heck, dude? Do you win this? Ain't no way, right? Okay. Ain't no way, dude. This is a tough comp to fight. I find that Lucifer in general is also very difficult to navigate. Like, he's hard to play around. The dude just does a bunch of work. Big Armageddon. Wow. Etna survived. Heavens to Betsy. Oh my God, you did it. Oh my God, you crazy son of a Bane. You did it. You did it. That was really impressive, actually. And Fastlix, is this yours? Is this the Win Nobara showcase that you were showing me? Let's take a look at this real quick. Chat, thoughts on Win Nobara? I'm becoming more of a fan of her day by day. Oh, Estella Maki, you started watching Jujutsu Kaisen. It's so good. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. I'm so happy to hear that you're enjoying it. It's one I know it's obvious by now. It is one of my favorite animes of all time. I love it. I can't wait to talk to you about it. I think that's going to be great. What episode are you on? I remember season 1. I remember really loving it. It's episode 7 to me is like probably the first like big moment in the show, right? I mean, there's obviously like cool stuff, but I love episode 7 because you finally get to see Gojo do his thing and like you finally get an explanation of his powers. And then later, I remember really liking episode 18, episode 20 from season 1. Okay, so right now, this is looking like Camilla's probably gonna solo this. Am I correct in saying Camilla's gonna solo this? Because this is exactly a situation where Camilla wants to just eat this team alive. I know, Camille, I'm not ready, dude. Frankly, I don't think Gege Akutami's ready either. Dude, that's crazy. 5 chapters is all he needs? They better be long chapters. They better be long chapters, dude, because I'm caught up with the manga and like, I don't see the end in 5 chapters, man. Like, there's still so much to answer, but I guess he could do it. He usually releases like 19-page, well, according to like the Shonen Jump app, they're like 19 pages long. So we'll see. Yeah, me too. Computer, me too. Me too. That was a great replay, by the way, Fastlix. That was great Camilla solo. Okay, let's do a review real quick. Can you help me figure out solo R5 teams? I get so close but die after the slam. So you might have something to do with, let's see what you got. So obviously I'm not gonna be able to tell what your side comps are, right? Let me show you this real quick. Just so that way people can kind of like see what I use. So this is what I use to do raids, right? I actually just launched a video on the channel semi-recently. It was like the top 5 free-to-play monsters for solo R5. And there's technically 6, actually there's technically 7 monsters in there. But I think one of the most important things to remember, especially if you're not using a BJ5 team as the far right comp, is like you do need 2 really, really important things. It's damage reduction, and for me I use DS and Darien, right? Not on the same comp. And the second thing to remember is cleanse on an active skill, not a passive. That's actually an extremely important part, right? Because like, if you bring a monster like a Veramos, right? Veramos doesn't really work in raids because his passive gets shut down via Oblivion. So he's not gonna be able to do anything to cleanse it. Now, I've got some Nat 5s here, right? And I'm not expecting you to have these particular Nat 5s. Think of them more as archetypes. So it's like, you don't need Ariel, but you do need a full team cleanse. Konamiya can full team cleanse. Lisa can full team cleanse. Even Zhang Fei, like I have represented here, right? That's the sort of thing that you need to think about when you're going into R5. And you need to balance that. You need to remember to put your damage dealers in the back. I know we're going over kind of like base stuff here, but I think it's important, even if some people in chat, maybe some folks who aren't as vocal haven't done R5 yet, it's important to know these tenets before going in. I didn't enjoy the game as much as I did, but it looks like I'm gonna keep playing even after the collab. 2,000 boxes, that is awesome feedback, by the way. I'm so happy to hear you say that. I'm really glad you're liking it. So yeah, this is probably, that's what I use. Now let me go back in real quick. Oh, I think I lost this. Oh, Mendo, of course, dude. I really appreciate you doing this for people, Evan. You're welcome. If I did Veronica right, would be nice. Let me go in and look. It's honestly my pleasure. I love doing, this is like my favorite moment of the week. So you wanted to know if you did Veronica properly. You said if I Steel Fortress and if you did Veronica properly. What's your Steel Fortress comp right now? Hey, Kaneki, Evan, can you help me? How do I become the champion of SWC? Dude, if I knew I'd be there. If I knew I'd be the champion. Unfortunately, it eludes me. Ask Lest. He's done it. He's done it twice. Ask Lest. So your Steel Fortress comp, I think the only thing that's lacking in your Steel Fortress team is a second source of buff block. I really think that that's gonna like be a game changer for you. And that can be, there's a number of farmable options for this, right? I use Second Awaken Zinc and I use 2A Gina as well, but it doesn't have to be them. It can also be the Wind Kung Fu Girl. It can be anybody who applies buff block, but I think a second one is really important to have in there too. If you want like a more detailed look at how to do it, I would direct you to the YouTube page too. I've got a Steel Fortress Abyss hard free-to-play guide on there. And I think it's become even more relevant now because for some of the monsters that we had, it was more RNG to get like these LD 3 stars. They have secret dungeons now. So it's way more achievable than it was in the past. But I think some important takeaways for it too, for your buff blocking units, Double Will is amazing, except for Zinc. In that team, I recommend that you have Zinc move first. And if they are moving first, then it's like, you know, or actually, no, I think I do have him on 2 sets of Will, if I'm remembering correctly. Woods EX says, I use Rahul in Steel Fortress, not because he's particularly good at it, but because it's probably the only thing he's actually usable. That's hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. Now let's look at the second part of your question, which was the Veronica. Let's do this. Veronica is, oh dude, Amarna. Oh my God, I want this unit so bad. I still want an Amarna so bad. I've been wanting one for ages. And you've got Deborah? Dude, you have high value LD 4 stars actually. And this, and an Evan. Oh my God, you've got an Evan. That's crazy. Wow, very high value LD 4 stars. Yo, if you're not using this monster, by the way, this is a public service announcement, right? Because like, if you're not using this monster in PvE, You guys should absolutely like be using it. Was Evan Hall of Heroes? Yeah, I think Evan was a Hall of Heroes. Perfect, King Julian. I think I hallucinated an L in your name. Thank you so much for the confirmation. I do think that it is 2 sets. It kind of escaped my memory for a second, but yeah, it's 2 sets there. If you have a Deborah and you're not using her in PvE, I encourage you to give it a try. This monster is like very good. Yeah, Brandon says I use her a lot. Absolutely, and you should. So Veronica, in essence, is kind of simple in what she's trying to do, right? You want her to take turn 1. So you kind of pair her with like high speed lead monsters and good follow-up. So she's her job is to be fast, do a quick strip of the enemy team, and increase their cooldown times. That's what she wants to do. So she needs to be very, very fast. Critical Shiz says, hi, how do I get advice? I'm hanging out in chat channel 10. I'm on the global server right now, but we can kind of move over to a different server later if there's enough interest. Just tell me what you need help with, and I will try my best to get to you as quick as possible. I know I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster. I've been spending some time on people's stuff. And right now she's on Swift, which is great. And I think there's a lot of caveats being made here for crit rate and crit damage. You could almost, like, I don't think she needs, oh, it's on chat channel 10, just 10. It's I basically go up a chat channel for every year the game is around, right? So when we hit the 10-year anniversary, it became channel 10. Next year it'll be channel 11 eventually. Yeah, we need some speed dating account reviews. Okay, I'm gonna try to go faster. So this is how fast she is on Swift, right? I think you could make her a lot faster, given your runes, if you forego the crit rate and crit damage. So this is something that you kind of got to balance with her, right? It's easier to get speed and attack, right? Because it's just one stat than it is to get speed, attack, crit rate, and crit damage. So I would maybe forego one of these paths of damage, especially because some of her damage comes from the dots themselves. So making her have more endurance and speed then, yes, that's probably what I'd recommend. Also, don't forget to prioritize accuracy a little bit. I'm not saying she needs 100. She could just do with like, maybe over 55. Over 55, to me that seems fair. Chat, I would love to hear your opinion on what the accuracy should be for Veronica as well. The main reason that I say like over 55, like it could be 70, it could be 80. I think it should be high, to be totally honest with you, but I understand that I'm asking you to chase a lot of stats here. Her whole job is accuracy resistance. That's her entire job. So you got to keep that in mind when you're ruining her. Does that mean speed, attack, accuracy? Maybe not. That could mean speed, attack, HP with accuracy in the substats. But yeah, so as far as like stat priorities for her go, it should be speed is your #1 priority. She's your starter. Second is accuracy. Third is probably damage. That's what I would recommend, especially considering that like her damage also comes from this. And because she's attacking multiple times, if you really want to, you can supplement some damage with additional damage substats in your artifacts. That's something you can look for. Speaking of which too, look for accuracy on skill 3. Oh look, this is great additional damage, by the way. Look at all that, that's awesome additional damage. But I would look for accuracy skill 3 as well. Perfect. I will try and make those changes. I really appreciate it. She's my favorite unit and has my wife's name. Dude, Brandon, that's incredible. That's perfect. Oh, guys, I think I hit the glitch, by the way. Hold on one moment, please. I'm gonna have to cancel out a Summoner's War and bring it back up real quick. In the meantime, let me do this. I'm gonna drop the survey on YouTube. If you guys wanna fill that out, we give 75 crystals out to a random number of people equal to the max viewership we get on stream. And then if you are on Twitch, all you gotta do is use command new survey. Also, we do have a Soul Strike stream later today at 2 p.m. Pacific time, and we're gonna have some guests as well. So be sure to come back, even if you have like a passing interest in the game. It'll be very fun. Okay guys, I'm back in the game. So that means that unfortunately previous messages got lost. So please message again if you'd like a review. Night Lion, can you look at my account, level 33, 5 days in with Nefties. Oh my God, 5 days in? Night Lion, Is this your first account? With Nefties? Is this your first account? I need to know this because this is a big question. Gaming with Ayush? What's going on, dude? Hey, I started the game today. Can you please send me something, dude? Fill out the survey, and I can get you 75 crystals that way. I cannot personally send you anything right now, but like it's just. But I mean, hey, you know, I got that for you. Beyond that, and advice. Nguyen, I actually I could do Asia server. I do have an Asia server account. Oh, did you come to us about the Han Hall of Heroes? Yeah, dude, they seemed really into the idea. Oh my god, that's so funny. All right, Night Lion, let's see what we can do. So you've cleared TOA normal, you're on TOA hard. Let's figure this out. Let's do this. Ming, did you sub in anything new recently? I have not. I'm actually saving my scrolls. I think we're gonna do a stream soon. We're gonna do a stream on next Friday. We're gonna do like an additional stream during the Portuguese stream time slot on Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I think we're going to do like a summon battle. It should be very fun. Avery, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you, dude. Let me see, what did you say? Oh, I can't scroll. I can't scroll on this. Were you challenging me to a fight? I can reasonably assume what you were saying, but I missed your message. Oh no, Estella Maki, did you say you won't be able to make it? Let me zone back in here. Oh, you've got Jameer. Jameer was my first Nat 5. So let me ask what you're using in Trial of Ascension right now. I would assume that it would have something to do with like maybe Jameer speed lead, Nefty Charlotte, perhaps? Like if you were to do something like that, I would maybe go for like, yeah, Jameer, Charlotte, this is a potentially slow team. Then you could do like, you could even do like either Spectra, I might even do Spectra and Crow. Like a second awakened Crow would work great there. Or like a super high damage Cocky, but I don't know if you have the damage yet to do something like that. But I think I would go a second awakened Crow, and here's why I'd go second awakened Crow. Once he's 2A'd, most of his skills scale with the number of debuffs on the enemy, right? So look at this, they scale with harmful effects. They scale with harmful effects. So that's exactly what I'm thinking. Someone said Sath as well. You could do Sath. Chronux said, hey, Evan dropped by to say hi real quick. What's going on, dude? I'm glad you came by for a second. Yeah, I think the Charlotte would be really good here. So that's my recommendation. I think you do with Nefties. You got the speed lead. You got Charlotte. You have Jameer and Crow. And then you have one more slot. I could almost do a second awakened Raok in that slot. You could do Han for the Achroma floor, and then or a high damage Cocky, whatever you prefer. But I think a second awakened Crow is going to be really important. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Am I missing anybody? Are we missing someone? You could do Sath if you wanted. I don't see Sath, so I'm not going to recommend him. You could make it Spectra. The main thing to keep in mind though is you basically want it to go in this order. You want Nefties to lead, right? You want Nefties to go first. Then Charlotte, then probably Crow. Oh, I'm sorry, then Spectra, then Crow, and then Jameer. And the reason why is you want Jameer to be last so that way he can use Illusion of Time and reset cooldowns. That's kind of the idea. Amazing progress, by the way, for level 33, 5 days. Hey, Evan, thanks for the stream. Need some help with a team in RTA? Of course, it's my pleasure. Truly, it's my pleasure. Let's see what we can do. So you're an F3 on World Arena right now. Looking to break that, oh man, that F3 into C1 wall is so real. Oh, someone was asking me what I thought about the new transmogs. Guys, they are some of my favorite looking transmogs yet. actually. Like, I think they look so freaking cool. I can't wait. I'm gonna get the Wusa one. I'm gonna get the Pioneer, I think. The Onmyujis look really cool. Oh, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a great stretch. Oh my goodness. Wow. That felt incredible. That felt so good. I think I told you guys recently that my gym buddy moved away. He's one of my best friends and he recently moved. And so I've been kind of bummed out about that, but I've been working out with another friend of mine. And so I'm all sore. That's why I bring it up. I'm all sore. And so like that stretch actually felt fantastic. I gotta tell you, like I got some mileage out of that stretch I wasn't expecting. So we're talking RTA. This is kind of cool. We haven't talked about RTA at all yet today. Woods, you're so sweet. Thank you. Dude, you're gonna make me blush. I appreciate it. I got Shaman's skin and Varus is next. Awesome. Doman's third skill, Crit Cam, is the new transmog. Feels like the phone is shaking. I haven't seen that. I gotta take a look. I gotta look at that. Hold on, I gotta see that. Sun's out, guns out. Dang Skippy, Carnegie. Dang Skippy. So it's important that I ask you this question. By the way, whose account is this? Could you call yourself out in the chat when you get a second? Avery, that was very funny. Oh, Heschel, there you go. So my question for you, or Heschel, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. What I wanted to ask is, what kind of team archetype do you like to play with? Like, or maybe you're not super sure, but like what do you like to play? Do you like cleaving? Do you like snipe? Do you like crowd control? Do you like control cleave? Do you like bruiser comps? Anything like that. Or if you don't know what archetype you like, just tell me some of your favorite units and we'll see if we can try to incorporate them. But let me look through real quick and I'll try to see if I can find you like a nice base. Like I'm just gonna call out some units as I see them. Debuff focused around Tomoe and Neft, but I have a ton. Oh, nice. You have a Nefties? Hold on, let me go look. So I think we should probably lean into that. Yeah, we should probably lean into that. Oh, shoot, dude. You've got Gurkha and Nyx. Wait a minute. Wait. Chat, wait. Cook with me for a second, chat. I actually really need you guys to help me out here for a second. I actually, like, legitimately, I really need help. So what I'm thinking is you find yourself in a really interesting position where I think you might be the one person who could actually make Gurkha work right now. I think maybe. Gurkha, I think Gurkha and Nyx and Nefties is like a really interesting comp. So I definitely think we should do Nyx and Nefties just because like this is so fascinating to me. Like you have pulled a very interesting mix of Nat 5s. You could actually do something kind of like Gapsu, right? For the 50% lead, you could do, or actually you probably want the speed lead, but it's a good backup lead between, I'm sure Nefties gets banned quite a bit. Do we have like a backup plan for this? Oh, absolutely, Avery, 100%, dude. Absolutely. That's crazy. Wouldn't that team be weak to Shaman? Dude, that was a crazy. I love that, dude. That's so funny. Wouldn't that team be weak to Shaman? It would. Okay, so Bane just listed something kind of sick too. Said Nefties, Swift Dark Robo, Despair Nyx, and Swift Siri for backup. Yeah, that is actually so sick. I really, really like that. I think that's a great comp. And I'm not trolling when I say that I actually think that you're in a position, I think you're in a weirdly unique position where you could actually make Gurkha work. Yeah, Bane said that too. Then Gurkha can drop Siri for Vritra. Cheyenne, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That is really, really cool. Yeah, it's always nice getting to hang out with you guys. Like truly, I feel the same way. I think all the folks that come to these streams, they're all so nice. So yeah, I just wanted to point this out because I know that Gurkha post nerf has kind of become a bit of a meme in the Summoners War community, right? Like people usually, if you pull a Gurkha nowadays, people normally say like red. right? But I actually legitimately think you are in a position where you could utilize Gurko really well because you have good supporting Nat 5s. Because of Nyx, because of Nefties, because of Vritra, I actually think you could make this work. And because of Gapsu, you could totally make this sort of thing work. You could do an all-dark sort of team. I really thank you for, and also the Swift, the Robo. So I think you should build, actually, like, I think you should do all of these. The other thing to keep in mind is like Veramos is gonna be an extremely popular counter to this team. So there is some logic in picking it with the comp. You know what I'm saying? I think this might be a little bit jump to conclusion-y, but like everybody's got Veramos, everybody has Veramos ruined because like the Layla, Tomoe, Nefties, like these comps are very popular right now. So this is a very popular counter. So there is some logic to picking him with the comp. So that way you deny them the counter. And then you never have to ban it. Then you can always ban Juno. You can always ban something else that you have an issue with. I think this might be kind of the, I think this might actually be the way to go. Okay, so now let's talk about some flex picks. Let's talk about ways that you can kind of diversify here, right? So we don't need to linger on this for too long. I actually think Byung-Chul actually synergizes pretty well with this. Not only is he a strong bruiser monster, but he can also strip and steal the will that's off of people. I think Smicer works well with this comp because the bomb features, it's a stun, a second turn of stun, plus a little bit of control and occasional silence. You're already doing a debuff heavy comp. I think Smicer could be good support for this. Chung Peng just follows up well after Nefties, right? Because you get or he can set up Nefties or he can follow up Nefties. You get the best of both worlds. Let's just talk a few others real quick. I actually think Karnal works really well with this team as well, especially going into the defense break that's set up by Nef. Although you may actually want to investigate Okeanos. I think Okeanos might actually be in a situation where he might be a little bit better for this team. Excuse me, and the reason why I say that is because of the strip and increased cooldown time. Pass by Rika real quick. This is great too for boosting up your stripper because he has an extremely fast base speed of 115. And I think that's probably all we got for now. Dude, Hisholo, you have a very interesting comp set up here. So I'm like a little bit jealous at what you have set up. Kentucky, what's up? What's up? So what are we doing today? We're doing account reviews. Death the Kid. Death the Kid, are you a Soul Eater fan? Is it okay to auto engrave? Yes, but. Yes, but. Oh, guys, I think I got the bug again. Sorry, guys. I think I got to back out of the game real quick. Let me do that. I'll be right back with it. I'll jump in a second. So, this is a great question. Death the Kid. I'm a previous G1 player, then got back just now. But there's so much content. Oh, dude. What a time to be getting back into Summoner's War. So for my reference, when were you G1? When did you play? And are you a Soul Eater fan? Yeah, the wallpaper goes hard, right? Yeah. I'm bugging hard today. Tell gang we bug hard, for real. Okay, guys. Chat channel 10. So let me answer the auto engrave question first, and then for Death the Kid, we can talk about that. So 3 years ago, still have the old account. I occasionally go back to Summoner's War like once a month. Perfect, now we're back. I'm in channel 10, thank you. Unfinished, welcome back. Sorry guys, I keep getting distracted. I'm not gonna look at chat for a second. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna answer the question about auto engraving. So the answer, is it okay to auto engrave? And I'd love to hear chat's opinion on this, but to keep myself focused, I'm not gonna look for a second. The answer is truly yes, but. Yes, comma, but is the answer. There is like a little bit of a caveat there. It is okay to auto engrave, but you have to recognize that auto engrave is not gonna be optimal, especially because auto engrave has, it will always prioritize a subset of runes too. And as we know going into PvE, that is not always the case. Also, auto engrave is based off of an aggregate of how some people are ruining a monster. And if people are wrong, then we're in trouble, right? The way that I auto engrave units is to increase the score on world boss or something like that. Or, you know, to see if I'm even remotely interested in a monster. And then I'll go back and tweak it. So it is okay, but you have to know that like auto engraving like Veramos is not going to give you optimal runes on Veramos. It's not going to put him on rage with high crit rate and crit damage because that's a little bit out there. So that's the main thing. Okay, let me see this. I'm back. I'm looking at chat. Can you review my account so I know what to focus? Just got back and I'm excited. Heck yeah. All right. And yes, I am a Soul Leader fan. All right, sick, perfect. It only takes from inventory. It's good for a starter set or what direction to take a monster, but it almost always needs some editing. Yes, totally agree. And I also love Soul Leader. I watched the anime twice. I didn't read the manga, but I did like do so. I also read some Fire Force, or rather I watched Fire Force. Not as big of a fan of it, to be honest, in terms of like story, but I really like the fights. Like the animation, the sound design, impeccable. What rune to get so I could be as handsome as you? That's so sweet. Stop, you're so nice. Oh my goodness, so sweet. Okay, Death the Kid, let me look for your account. I'd love to answer this question. Is it Utah, as in JJK? JJK fan? Oh, you're in Asia. Okay, if I jump over to Asia. Man, 3 years, a lot's changed in 3 years. A lot has changed in 3 years. So I'll jump over to Asia today. So much stuff. Can you give some guidance on what to start doing? Yeah, there is a lot of new stuff. Oh, you're using Leica. That's sick. That's sick as heck, actually. Avery says, why would you skip me? I'm not trying to skip you. Oh, said watch my replay. Okay, I'll take a look after this. I'll take a look. I promise I will take a look. Okay, I'm trying to do a lot of things right now, Avery. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm not trying to skip over you like that. So it looks like your focus is good and trying to get into the Abyss floors and stuff. I think we could probably speed up your Giants team. I also think you could speed up your Spiritual Realm team by taking out the Fran and just throwing in Seek, the Fire Hellhound. It looks like you actually are already doing similar advice to what I talked about for Steel Fortress. You might want one more source of buff block if you want it to be super consistent. You're using the Vampires Walking Dogs team in the Punisher's Crypt, which is really cool, with one change out in just the Kung Fu Girl. And Necro, I think the team looks a little bit fragile. So here's what I'd recommend doing in the short term. I'd recommend trying to speed up your Giant's Abyss by maybe adding in Veramos as your leader, Runed on Rage with max HP scaling damage on skill 2. Have him on high crit rate, high crit damage, like 90-ish speed. You want him to be fast so he can keep removing buffs. For Necro, I would maybe like change the trajectory of the team a little bit. In order to get into Abyss floors, I find that twins are not super reliable. I'm actually a big fan of like Abigail the Water Cannon Girl, who's a Hall of Heroes monster, featuring like Ikaru, Raok, Astar, and Shaman, the Light Griffin. And yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying my best to prioritize the reviews. Jean says, or Jean says, hey, Evan, can you help me choose a Nat 5 to max skill from the event and help me with RTA, TOA? Please and thanks. Any advice? I would love to help. Actually, I mean, give me a list of what Nat 5s you've got that are interesting. Thanks, Tommy. So that's probably what I'd recommend that you do, because I know there's a lot to focus on. I think your main focus right now should be like, get that Giants team kind of sped up a little bit. I bet you're in a position right now where Leica's kind of soloing and making sure that like the team kind of stays afloat. You could actually like, you know, there's a few things you could do to kind of make it safe, but also like faster. And I think a Rage Veramos can do wonders for that. Taking out the multi-hits is also really good too. So losing Ergar, losing Crow, and instead doing like Veramos and Shannon for the attack buff, or a Kamami or something like that might work. Crow's not a big deal though. It's really more Ergar that I'm concerned about. That's really it. That's truly it. Necro, I would just change it over to something that's a little bit, you could even do an Ergar lead there. You could do Ergar with like Raok, with Crow, with Lauren, with Astar if you've got her, or Shaman as well. Okay, I'm gonna try to speed up a little bit. Avery says, watch my dang replay, Evan. Where is it? Shared info of Evan. It's unruned. ED runed Evan. Oh my God. He hates me. He hates me, dude. Oh my God, Avery. Avery's telling me that our relationship is over. He's saying, whatever this was, it's over. This rivalry, it's done, dude. That's what he's saying. He's like, Evan's de-ruined. That's it. Okay, I'm watching your gosh dang replay, okay? We're watching the gosh dang replay. Okay. You're up against somebody with a Han from the Hall of Heroes we've been talking about. That team's probably devastated that they didn't get the Dark Robo they wanted, because usually a team like that would want a Dark Robo because it works great with the Han speed lead. Your Ciara is sick as heck, dude. Imagine I watched this and I was just totally apathetic the whole time. I'm not gonna do that. I'm very excited about this. I think you're doing great. Tanky Zabala. Tanky Zabala. This is looking pretty bad, Avery. This is looking awfully bad. You're telling me that you win this? Are you telling me that you're gonna win from here? Like, how does this win? Does your Ciara pop off? Does your Chiwu pop? You slept the Han? Dude, he's luck sacking. No, I'm so kidding, dude. I'm so kidding. He loves seeing the bomb on Velajul. Please tell me he doesn't have skills. Oh, it doesn't matter now because your Chiwu's popping off, dude. Chiwu is sleeping everybody today. Your Chiwu is looking like a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Like, he's just putting everybody to sleep. Form-fitting, dude. That's that memory foam. Chiwu remembers. I was legitimately kidding earlier when I said, what is it, your Chiwu? Oh my God, it's not the Chiwu! Oh my God, it's the Robo! What? No way, dude. Oh my God, he's done. Oh, I was kidding. Oh my God. Wow, all right, that was pretty sick. Fine. I see why you wanted me to watch the dang replay. I get it now. That was a sick replay. I get it, okay? Are you happy? Are you happy? I'm telling you, you were right. I was wrong. I didn't mean to skip it though. I genuinely didn't see it. Ah, Sleon, you didn't skip Avery, but you're skipping me. Okay, gonna wanna. Mind checking my account for some RTA advice? Wow. Wow. So you've been C1, right? So you've been C1 because of the wings. So we're not there currently, right? Wait. Yeah? Where's the record? I don't see the record. There's no record in here. Is this just what you currently are? Are you currently F2? Because dude, you could do some cool stuff with this, gonna wanna. What the? Bro, Yanhong to start. Yanhong and Laura? Look at this combo. Unfortunately, Tian Lang doesn't do too great with that. Oh, rip. I wish this monster was better. I really wish this monster was better, because I have two of her. You have incredibly potent LDs. Ooh, oh my God. And your regular elemental 5-stars are great too. Dude, you could do like this, you could do Raj as your speed lead featuring Yanhong and Laura. Bust out a Tian Lang if they get a little cheeky, just to put them in their play. Like already, this is a comp, dude. Ramael and Judaya, Laura Yanhong. And then like you run like Cigar. What the heck, dude? Premium LDs and premium elementals. Dude, like this is actually crazy. This is actually crazy. I think with stuff like this, if you really do want any, like my take at all, my take isn't worth too much, right? When you start getting into high level RTA, my take's not really worth a whole lot. But with that in mind, with that said though, I do really like Raj as your first pick because he's got the speed lead and he's getting a lot of good attention right now. Then you feature like, you do Laura Cigar or something, right? You got your starters. So now you basically got 3 starting units. You bring Yanhong for damage and to cycle your damage. And then after that, you bring whatever's good for the moment. I mean, it might actually be Barbara, to be frank. Barbara got a really good showing in the China qualifier. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch that, because like, dude, we were exhausted. It went for like 7 hours, but it was actually pretty good. And Barbara got some use in there, and she actually seemed really good. She's got defense break. It's the same thing as Masha's skill too, but then she's got the worst named attack in the entire game. This is my least favorite skill name, but it's good, so I'm recommending it. And Byung-Chul. Yeah, Byung-Chul is always good too. And now Yanhong can support, boost up your damage, provide damage via the fan. So I actually think you've got yourself a really good comp in there. Oh no, it's happening again. Dude, I'm bugging today. I am bugging today, truly. Okay. restarting. Sorry guys, we're gonna have to send messages one more time in chat channel 10. I will, actually. In fact, why don't I do that? Why don't I jump over there real quick right now? Dude, this wallpaper is so good. It's really, really good. That's why you don't skip people. It's not my fault. Okay, I'm gonna post the survey in the meantime. That link is from me, guys. So if you're on YouTube, that link is from me. Here's what we'll do. Let me jump over to the Asia server real quick. We haven't been to the Asia server in a really, really long time, and I'll come back, right? I think we may have to get through some stuff real quick, guys. Bear with me for a second. I think we're gonna have to get through this. Wow, rip your ups. Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. I didn't mean to sleep on EU like that. Okay, you know what this needs is a skip button. This really does need a skip button, because this is about as long as an episode, to be frank. So how many people in chat either watch or read JJK, or both? Raise your hand. Me, both, nice. Also, I love this intro. Like, this is so sick, but I can't help but notice that Yuji punches nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just objectively. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. I'm not hating. I'm just saying he's punching nothing. Now I'd watch. He's punching zero things. I read JJK, super sad about it ending. Me too. I don't see how it's gonna end. Nice, Dick Echo 2. Excellent. Yeah, I'm a big fan of both. And if you enjoy the anime, I would recommend doing, giving the manga a read. I would recommend giving the manga a read as well, because it's definitely worth it. Chat Channel 10. Chat Channel 10 is the place to be. Okay. Soul Eater Lover. Okay, so previous G1 took a 3-year break. Summoner's War has changed a lot. So the last time you were here was theoretically in the 7th anniversary, right? And now we're in the 10th anniversary. Oh my God, Yuta, bro, wait a minute, wait a second. You're, dude, wait. Oh my God, you even love JJK? Death the Kid, wait a minute, we're gonna get along. Don't spoil, guys, don't spoil anything. Guys, chat, chill. Don't spoil anything. We're good. We're good, okay? Okay, we're chill. No more spoilers. We're not talking anything. So, previous G1, took a 3-year break, back at it again, and now the whole game is suddenly different. Oh my God, you recently pulled Volantis. Oh, congratulations. We'll see if we can help you out with that. So you got the Steel Fortress comp going on with the single Awakened Zinc like an absolute mad lad. That's crazy. You got the Vampires Walking Dogs comp. Again, for Spiritual Realm, I would recommend taking out Riley and putting in Seek. Because I think Seek ends up being a lot safer than Riley, which is really weird to say, right? But Riley is actually just delaying the inevitable. She's not actually providing you anything that's gonna help. Seek is giving you that crit rate buff, and the boss like lowers your crit rate. She actively lowers your chance to crit. So the best thing you can do is increase it, right? And Seek comes back, I think it's a 3-turn crit rate buff and attack buff, and he gets his whole skill back in 3 turns, which is really important, right? So you're always going to be with a crit rate buff. And then you can do Verd. I would even recommend running an Aster instead of a Crow. The only reason is because, you know, of the element advantage there, because the boss is wind and choose fire. It's just something to think about. I just find myself commenting on that pretty often, just because like I find that like it's an easy change to make that'll like speed up your dungeon time. But it's obviously not that important. Okay. So let's talk what we can do for RTA. Death the Kid, what do you like to do in RTA? What's your play style? What do you like to do? Oh, you do have Laura. So actually, while you may actually be you already privy to it, I'm sure, because you're playing RTA currently. But as you know, Laura is actually seen as a lot better than she was 3 years ago. Like, Laura wasn't given a lot of respect back then just because, like, of how inconsistent her third skill was. But now people love her, and she's even gotten nerfed, and now people still love her. So you liked Sustain. So yeah, before it was just for my Wind Panda. Word, dude. No, honestly. Oh, this is gonna be cool one day, I think. I think this, what? Oh, you got the Dark Nobara. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I don't know if I'm gonna recommend that necessarily, but like, that's still really cool. So you like Sustain. I think Sustain loosely translates over to Bruiser, right? I think we could probably call that Bruiser. Good news is that Chao is a lot better now. Yeah, so now Chao is a lot better than he used to be. He actually got a little bit of play in the China qualifier too as a last pick, and I don't think that's going to be the last we see of him. So I would have this runed up. I would have this runed. I think Vanessa works well with this sort of comp too, as the 33 lead, so you can kind of stay up and kind of keep the pace. But then she also offers the strip and defense break and the revive for when things go wrong. Just have a Tessarion runes. Oh man. Okeanos has gotten a lot better too, same as Ciara. The only thing is that doesn't necessarily work within your playstyle. The only thing is I think you may want to just kind of know what units you like to play with, but don't be too afraid to pivot a little bit. If this is what you have currently, I may not be privy to all of the monsters you have, but like right now, the way I'm seeing it is you'd probably want to do something like a first pick. Oh, you still have tons in storage. So if you wanted to go like a Bruise sort of situation, go Vanessa, rune up things like Chao that have that self-sustain feature. Xingje is really good to punish things that like Oliver. Oliver takes a lot of turns, so you run Xingje on Violent Revenge. So that way, no matter who he's hitting, Xingje has a chance to hit him back. I think that's pretty sick. Hey, look at this, it's Black Death Wukong. It's kind of sick. Bakugo Barrage, welcome back. What's going on? Best unit I think I have is Dark Megami, but I would love to have Yuta in the game. Dude, me too. I just want Maharaga in the game, man. I just wish that's what I want. I want Maharaga. I was also low-key hoping for Toji to be the free. I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I was thinking that Toji could be the free Nat 5. And then Sukuna could have multiple types. Because I would love it if like Sukuna had like, you know, he had the Fukuma Mizushi, you know? He had the Malevolent Shrine. Hyoiki Tenkai. Yeah, I was hoping that, because we could have tons of elements, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Fuga. Yeah, that would have been hype, dude. That would have been so sick. Ah, I know, and Rune Blow, yeah, you're super right. Death the Kid said Yuta too. Yuta would be awesome. Yuta would be great. Dude, imagine, you know what would be so sick actually? Imagine like just a Yuta transmog for the Dark Devil Maiden. Like that's an easy swap. Like that's a super clean swap, dude. Like you just make it like Yuta for the Devil Maiden and then like Rika's in the box, dude. Like super clean, like easy. Give her a buff too, you know? give her a buff while we're at it, and then you're good to go. Okay, back to what we were talking about here. So, you can still pick the Laura with this comp. I don't think Laura goes poorly with this by any means whatsoever. I think it's just kind of important to represent, like, you know, what you're trying to do, right? So it's like, I think you do Vanessa first pick. You could even do Praha in this comp. I'm kind of working within what I'm seeing, right? I know I'm not privy to all the monsters that you have right now. You pick Jing if you see Oliver, for instance. You pick Riley if you need healing. You could lead with Laura. I also do like Ileana too, but it's a little hard for me because I don't see all of your monsters in there, but I think you kind of get what I'm getting at. You want to like have that core room. You want to understand what you're going to open with, clearly. And this is not just for you, because I know you're previously G1, so you know this stuff. But like, you know, Vanessa Laura, if that's your opener, perfect. Keep that. Then just figure out if you want to go Praha, and then start going into counter picks. That's kind of what I'd recommend. Cheshire, so am I first here? Hey Evan, can I get a review for my account? I'm on YouTube chat, by the way. This server is more civilized than the global server. Man, the anime fans are out in droves today. This is pretty awesome, dude. Cheshire, what can I help you with, by the way? Tell me what you need help with. Is it just a review? Hey now, don't be recommending my first pick, Vanessa. If they take her, then I can't cleave. Sorry, Salty Brawler. What's going on, by the way? I want to do RTA, but I'm terrible at putting a team together. Boarhead, I understand. Like that's definitely like the hardest part in the beginning. Definitely the hardest part. Okay, so let's do a review. You've been playing for quite some time. You've cleared both TOAs. You're using the same speed team I am for the most part with one change. It's just I use Shaman, you're using Lin. Yours is faster than mine. That's crazy. I'm doing better now that we're streaming, you know? It's like I had it kind of a lame morning, but now I'm doing a lot better, the Salty Brawler. Thank you. I truly am, geared up to have a good day now that I've gotten to hang out with you guys. Dragon's Lair is looking really good. Your Necro team, I love that time, by the way. That's a great time. And this is exactly the Spiritual Realm team that I've been recommending to people. Man, guys, this is pretty solid. This is actually really solid. I don't know how good my account is. Well, you have really good priorities. I will say that. Like, your dungeon times look fantastic. So let me just look through here and see what else you got going on. Oh, you got Layla. That's pretty sick. As far as like progression goes and stuff, like as far as your actual times go, you are doing very well, like very well. Your times, even for like giants, it's better than my time, right? I think your account is pretty good. Now, after you leave PvE, it becomes a little harder to measure how good your account is because I don't know what measuring stick we're using to check that by, right? Like if you want to look at it from a perspective of like how good is my account for RTA. I'm not sure all of the units you have, right? But I see hints of things. So it's like you have little bits of like snipe pieces. You have a bit of like a debuff comp here, right? The Amber actually makes me think that maybe you want to lean into that debuff side, especially because Layla, Tomoe, Layla, and the Amber work really well together. So that actually might be something you should consider. Oh, and Zima. So I think your account's really good at PvE, and then it's got a lot of potential for PvP. That would be my estimation. As far as your progression goes, I think I'd give this like probably an 7 or an 8, maybe an 8. I think the only thing that could make it stronger is like further like diversifying into content. I think I'd give your PvE like a 9, You've got a speed team for giants. Your times are really respectable. Probably the next thing to do would be to decide if you want to build a speed team for like dragons or something else, and then like diversify into RTA. That's probably what I'd say. Very good though. Need help for an arena defense. You have some fun monsters in here too. You got Kinky back there as well. So you've got Miles featuring Riley, Leica, and Wusa. Anytime, dude. Just go in no matter how hard you suck, you'll end up having a decent win rate at some rank. It's true. That honestly, very good advice. Very good advice. Your arena so chat, let's ask chat, would you hit this defense? Because I think I might. I think I would hit this defense. I think you might need something to prevent death. And the other thing is, while defense, it's a good defense lead, defense is not like the highest priority stat, right? Because most of the time, if people are like climbing fast, they're climbing with an ignore defense comp. Like you're double lutioning, you're bombing, you're something. Let's see, very hittable. I hit all defenses. Yes, 100%, I hit that Tiana bomb. In what way? Dies to Leah. It's very lutionable. It's very lutionable, so that's my fear. So now let's go in and give a little bit of actionable advice, right? I really don't hate the Leica. My problem is not with the Leica. In fact, if we're doubling down on one element, I would like it to be fire. Like, you could almost do Rakan and Leica. But let's hold on to that thought. Because if you happen to have like a Carnal, doesn't look like you do. I like this song right now. Darian. Oh, Evan. Okay, so now that I've gotten a chance to kind of look at this stuff, no, I'm not gonna hit you, Avery. I won't hit your defense. I'm not gonna hit your defense. I think a good place to start would be like Darian, Leica, and Kinky. I think that's a better starting point. But or maybe Nora, even. What do you guys think, chat? Chat, do you prefer like Rakan or Nora in that last slot? Because I think that Leica, Kinky, Juno is mega annoying these days. She can be, but like, you know, she is susceptible to like defense break and an attack buff with big damage. Like, I think it's easier to do like a really, really tanky Nora when you don't need to rune out. Like, for instance, like Juno needs a lot of crit rate. She needs crit rate, she needs HP, she needs a lot of stuff. I think Nora might be. So Nora, you need some heal. Nora's better into more bulk. At least some sustain and bonus strip. So, okay, so how about we settle on this for now, and then you can see how it performs. So again, the comp should look something like this. Should be Leica featuring Nora, Second Awakened Darian, and then Kinky. I think the Kinky is gonna be one of the first places you change out. Camille says, I think Triana would be good too. If you have a Triana, I would run it. I did not see one. I didn't see one, but that doesn't mean that you don't have it. So I think a Triana would go really well in there. Give that a try and see what happens. Hi, Evan, you should help me do RTA. I don't know how to do stuff. Okay, roger that. Let's see what we can do. Olive Delights. Dude, that's one of my favorite memes right now is the Olive Delights. Let's talk about how to break into RTA. So your dungeon teams are not at their like peak yet, and that's fine. That doesn't mean that you can't do RTA. I'm actually of the camp that says that I think you should start doing RTA as soon as possible so you start understanding the synergies between monsters. And a really good way to do that is to use the free-to-play support monsters that rotate every season, so that way you can supplement different monsters in your teams. And you can kind of see how they work together and stuff. I think that might be a good way to do it. So let's jump in and see what you got. Bakugo, my SW goal is to do a stream with Evan. That's such a sick goal. That's so sweet. That's awesome. So you can do Chandra is pretty exciting still, even post-nerf. Oh wow, with the Byung-Chul. Wow, dude. Yeah, you actually, oh my god, you already have an LD5? You already have an LD5? Wow, no freaking way. That's actually crazy. Wow, and you've got Juno back here too. And the Water Slayer. I've been pushing my agenda about the Water Slayer, by the way. I have this unit, and I actually think this unit's gonna be pretty cool. Isn't she 4? No, I don't think so. I think she's a 5-star. She an LD4? Oh, okay. Well, I'm still excited about it. That's still pretty cool. So, Dark Nobar is 4. Ah, dude. I'll take it back then. You can be excited about this one. I'm excited about I can still be excited about her if she's a 4-star, but like, I think the most exciting version of Nobar is probably the Wind one. Megami as a 4-star light unit though, I actually think he's one of my favorite 4-stars from the whole collaboration though. We've talked about this at length, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but like, because he reduces the time of buffs, it gets around certain things. It gets around Hey Gang. You know, this is pretty good. He also doesn't need accuracy. He doesn't do an accuracy resistance check for this. Oh, dude, I love this song. It always makes. Oh, that's so good. I think you actually have more than enough to start doing some RTA games. Like just looking at this here, you could do something with, oh wow, you even have support from like the Lightning Emperor. You also have Bulwark. Dudano, yeah. So here's the thing about Megami, is like, so he doesn't need to do accuracy resistance checks because typically reducing the number of turns, reducing and like buff extension and I don't know what's the other, shortening, right? Like that's not something that can be resisted. That's just something that like just happens, right? Like that's just, you know, look at Mi Yang for instance, right? Like Mi Yang does that, Nyx does that, like, so something to think about. It's kind of sick. The wannabe stripper, I think it's kind of cool. I think he's got a lot of potential. Yeah, thereabouts. Okay, I think Chandra works really well along with some of your other Nat 5s. Like you could also bring, Karnal if you plan on bringing a strip, like Byung-Chul for instance. Like we talked about it earlier, but Byung-Chul can actually strip the enemy team, open them up. Yeah, we should double check. I don't have him, but I believe that's how that works. Zokora says, wait, you for real? No accuracy check on that? Because then he's basically a budget Tiana. So we need to double check. Yeah, we should double check this because I think unless it's a double will shield unit, Zokara. Yeah, I think we should double check. I don't have it. I think that's how that works. Should we find out? Should I go watch a replay? Should we see if anybody's using it? Oh, I don't have it on this. We should double check. I'd like to see. Because if it is, because when I was talking with Stoic about it, I think it wasn't that, but we'll see what happens. I'd be down to watch a replay. I really hope I'm not wrong, but if I'm wrong, it's a problem. If I'm wrong, then maybe he doesn't need to be as exciting as possible. Need help for arena defense. We already talked about that one. Can't get past Fighter 2. Oh, all right, let's see. Yes, I think I will go back to global after this. I don't know, is Seimei the same? Is Seimei the same thing? Because that's a really good question. We need to do some research on this. I'll jump back over to global and we'll look at a replay together. How about that? Okay. Like this. Built my Fire Desert Warrior after hearing you built yours. It's a game changer. Fluffy Lions. Dude, yes. He is so good. He is so good, actually. Like, man, I'm very surprised with him. I built him after seeing him played in the China qualifier. It was pretty sick. Very good. So you can't get past F2. You do have some good units in here, though. I saw you had the water. Oh, shoot, dude. We better be using this. We better use this thing. This thing rocks. AoE defense break plus invincibility on your team. If you have a Shizuka as well, we could force pick Shizuka to bring invincibility a second time on everyone. Just make people give up. Sounds awesome. What the heck? I'm kind of getting a little bit like cheeky here, but like these two are both really, like this is good follow-up to an AoE defense break. Okay, let's see what we can do to facilitate it. You have Chungpung for a skill 2 to strip. Kind of low activation rate on that, but he's good follow-up, so let me just see if you have something else. We'll keep in mind that you have Tomoe. We'll keep in mind that you have that. You do have Juno. Juno could do it. Oh, you do have Shizuka. Okay. That's pretty sick. So the only like semi-consistent AoE strippers that I saw were like Juno, Praha. Oh wait, there's a Chiwu. Dude, you could do a 24 speed lead with Chiwu. You could do Chiwu into the Dark Hollyberry. Oh, and you also have Cigar. Wait a minute, oh, I totally missed these. Okay, so you could do Chiwu into like Wind Robo, maybe? I would do either the Wind Robo or Cigar, following up with the Hollyberry Cookie, then do like Chakra for AoE damage. Like, wait, this is pretty sick. If you'd rather just control them, right? Like if you'd rather just keep that pace, you could do just like Chungpung or Cigar, whatever, in addition to what you're doing, or Karnal. And I think it's easy for this kind of comp to kind of swap into that crowd control element instead of like the damage follow-up. right? So ideally, you're gonna wanna open, right? Strip with Chiwu, defense break AoE with the Dark Hollyberry Cookie, protect your team, then you follow up with like Chakra, you follow up with like your big damage units, or Carnal would go there so that you can decrease attack bars, potentially stun them, and then just keep them locked down for the rest of the game. And I think that's the comp. I really do, I think that's the comp, dude. You could also do Zibala in that slot, or you could do Jongnam, one of those. Those are really good. Guys, let me jump back over to global server really fast. Just so that way we can like, because we're running low on time on the stream. I want to go through as many people as possible. Yeah, exactly. So Seimei is a weird continuous effect. That's what we were going to talk about. Guys, real quick, let's go look at this. Let me go look at this really fast. Let's look at a replay. Let's go monster. Let's go reset. I'm going to look up the Light Megami really fast. Oh, wait, let's make sure he made it in. Okay. Mr. Nobody, thank you so much. How does one get his account checked? You know what? All I've been doing is I just check to see what people need help with. I hang out in chat channel 10. Hold on, so this is important. This is important, right? So what we're trying to see here is we're trying to see if there's an accuracy resistance check with this. Oh, he didn't buff. Dude, that's not helpful. Dude, we need him to buff. Oh, there is an accuracy resistance check. Dude, we're cooked. We're cooked. Megami's cooked. Is that the one though? Wait, did he, that was the skill, right? That was the skill? There is a resistance check. I stand corrected, chat. I was wrong. I was wrong. Yeah. He's only decent then. It's cool. It's cool. So I'll say this. I'm just gonna let this play out. So, Zokora, very good observation. He's only decent then. So, being wrong about that estimation means a couple things. One, it means that he's slightly less good than we were thinking. But the second thing is that he's still a Heigen counter. And Bane is still on my, is still right there with me on that. Good Heigen counter if nothing else. So he's good at that. And that's good. So there's still room for him, and I don't think that this entirely annihilates the viability of him, but it does make it so like, you do need accuracy on your stripper, which I guess is a good thing for like the health of the game. Like, do we need more things that are like Tiana? Do we need more, you know, just kind of happen? Maybe not. So I guess for the health of the game, it also might be good too. I didn't think about it from that perspective. Anyway, guys, sorry to get your hopes up about that. But I think it's good that we investigated. Oh, wait, real quick. Wait, the new transmogs. Dude, the new transmogs are out. I wanted to get this. What do you guys think? Should I get I wanted to do this. Because my Wusa is very plain. My Wusa is exceptionally plain. Oh, I like the fireworks a lot. And oh, dude. Wow. I love the lanterns. That's beautiful. The paper lanterns. This is awesome. I think I might get this. Do I have one for Shizuka? I do have one for Shizuka already. Oh, that's sick. Chat, my MTG fans, is this like a Kamigawa Neon Dynasty to you? Is that what that feels like? That's what it feels like to me. Okay, I like the Wusa better. I'm very happy to report that I do like the Wusa better. Wait, this is kind of cute though. Dude, she throws a dumpling. That's so cool. Let's look at the dark one actually, since we were just talking about her. Cool. Cool. Similar though. Very similar. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the Wusa one. This is such a huge leap for Wusa. My Wusa was so lame for years. Oh my god, he's beautiful. Dude, he's amazing. That's fantastic. I love the fireworks. Oh my god. Yeah, this is pretty sick. I'm very pleased. Truly so pleased. Okay, people are telling me to look at Tomoe, so let's go look at that. Let's go look at Tomoe real quick. Oh wow, what the heck? That is very, I see what you're talking about. Wait, let's see Doman, because people were saying that Doman feels like, oh, it does feel like the screen is actually moving. Look at that. I'm gonna do it one more time. Ready yourself. Oh, it's gotta be the crit animation though. They have gotten so creative with the critical animations. Yeah, Doman curses you, dude. Doman curses you with the internet. She doxes you, dude. That's so funny. Is there anybody else to check out? What about, oops, wrong button. What about Pung? Should we look at like, how's Pung Bake? Is Pung Bake looking cool? Oh, and the Robos. Wait, wow, that was really cool. Wait, that was really sick. I normally hate Pung Bake. I'm normally like extremely biased against this monster. That's beautiful. What? Oh no, I actually really like that. Let's look at Wunsa. Whoa, I like that he kind of, I like that the suction was like fireworks. That is pretty neat. And then we also had, oh, whoa, what the, dude. I don't think I'd seen this yet. I don't think I'd looked at the skill animation since it got announced. This looks amazing, but it also looks remarkably similar. I mean, I guess, you know, that kind of makes sense that they would look similar, but it looks kind of like a variant skin, you know? Not necessarily a problem, but just something to think about. Ooh, I like the wind-up. I like the wind-up on this a lot, actually. That is pretty cool. Oh, cool. Oh, the punch looks great. Yeah, the punch looks awesome. I don't know, chat, what do you think? Do you like this one better, or do you like the video game one, the Game Boy one? Oh, that is pretty cool. I think the Game Boy version is still my favorite, but I really like the spin on this one. That looks cool. Okay. Let's see what we can do for this. Oh, someone 6-starred. Runeblow 6-starred Evan. Thank you for the welcome back. Red Phantom. Hello, Evan. I recently de-runed most of my mons and looking for general RTA tips. Keep up the great content. Oh, dude. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will try my best. Let's see what we can do to help. So you've de-runed most of your RTA monsters, huh? Trying to see for like highlight monsters here. I see you've got Cigar back there. I see you have Zabala. You got Dominic with the skin that I use for Dom too. I would love this unit to get a second awaken, right? This is a 2A would be really great. So staple monsters. We got more. You were trying to call me with the Evan 6-star? Man, what if that's the way that you can like guarantee you get an account reviews by 6-starring Evan? We just get a bunch of like 6-starred Evans in the chat right there. I don't want to make people do that though. That is just a joke. I don't want to make people do that. He's not that good. If he gets a buff, we can make it a thing. But for now, maybe not. Get in line, Garuda and Mammoth first, and the Penguins. How to rune Shaman for RTA. Jordan says, best friend Evan, how are you? I'm doing great. The stream has been so much fun. You guys always brighten my mood. It's great. We've seen some great accounts. We've chatted. We found out Light Megami is not as sick as we thought. It's been an up and downs. It's been exactly the roller coaster of emotions I want my live streams to be. You know, that's what we want. I've been playing a lot with Adriana these days and loving it. I find I win a surprising number of games with her. So highlight monsters, more Zabala, Adriana, Shizuka, those are probably my favorites from there. I usually like to have a 0-speed Rakan ruined on Vampire, just in case there's a Leo on the other side. I really like Meiho Wang. He is easy to make really good. Congrats on the fire Yuji. Has anybody watched Hector's skill 3, by the way? This is an incredible skill animation. This is actually way better than it has any business being. Nobody uses this monster. In fact, I think you may have seen it in the 4-star Collab Families ranked video, but like, dude, this monster's got a really cool looking 3rd skill. Dom pairs really well with Adriana actually, with the attack buff, the speed buff, like he does great with her. So you may want to consider what path you want to take, right? Like if you want to go kind of a bruisery route, you could do something that, like, Adriana fits well into that. You could, Gapsu also works well with that too. Like, Riley goes great. So if you're interested in doing a bruiser comp, I think you would include Dominic in there. I think, is there another monster that I can find that would work? Meiho Wang for fire. I usually like to have one entry for each. Unfortunately, I didn't really see a water monster that excited me too much for that, I don't think. Let me just briefly go back. Oh, we're in 4-star territory now. And you've got Oliver for speed lead. I suppose there is a Barbara here. And there's a Praha. Praha can kind of function both ways. Or Molong. Wait a minute. See, Molong has kind of found his place again. Molong can get through some things. Like, you can one-shot a Sonya with a Molong, right? It's going to be hard to get him to move in front of the Sonya, but she can do it, right? Because he doesn't crit. Alternatively, if you wanted to go with something that's a little bit more control-focused, you could go like Oliver lead featuring Cigar. The Fire Robo is great on Despair these days. And you could go with like Okeanos or Rika if the situation calls for it. I am like a little bit biased towards Bruiser just because that's my preferred playstyle. You do also have the Layla. Yeah. So I think choose between the Bruise playstyle or the Control playstyle. Man, this account is giving me some decision fatigue here. And that's usually a good sign. That's normally a sign that the account has a lot to offer. Because, you know, I'm like struggling to tell you a decisive way to go. And that's usually a good thing. If you like crowd control, then you'd probably do something kind of like maybe a Moore lead or an Oliver lead or both, featuring Cigar for the strip and reset. Then you'd bring like Layla and Okeanos or Zibala or a combination. Zibala you could ruin really fast too, so that way he can boost up your strip option. I think you've got really good monsters for that sort of thing. I think if you run those, then you are good to go. Like crowd control for this, Zibala is perfect. Guys, so unfortunately, this is the last account that I have time for today. I do try to do these things pretty frequently though. I usually like to do them on Wednesdays. So if you didn't get your account reviewed today, I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry to the entire Europe server. We dipped into Asia though, and that was good. We haven't been to the Asia server in a long time. I hope you guys had fun. I had a blast. Stay tuned for more in the future, and then if you are on Twitch, don't leave because we're gonna raid somebody. All right, bye guys. See you next time. Thanks again.
The list and rank the Nat 4s now. Quick disclaimer. Actually, no disclaimer. I'm sick of disclaimers. Starting us off, which is not where you want to be in the rank. Well, actually, one disclaimer. This list is based off of impact. First of all, starting us off, which is not where you want to be on a list of rankings, it's the Magic Order Enchantresses. And this might be a little bit of bias coming through, because I have 2 of the light one. So this placement on the list might be a little unfair for the Enchantresses. There's only 2 Nat 4s in this entire family. Neither of them is that impactful in the grand scheme of things, I'd say. The Nat 5s in the family are really good though. So maybe a little bit of time and some elbow grease is all they need to become respectable Nat 4s, but for now I think this is a good spot for them. Next, it's another family with only 2 Nat 4s in it. It's the Mercenary Queens. Solveig and Astrid are the fire and wind ones respectively. The fire one is a damage dealer and the wind one can detonate dots. So both are interesting under very specific circumstances. The 5 stars in this family are off the charts. The 4 stars leave a little to be desired, and that's okay. And if you're curious, the wind one actually has a spotlight on the channel. Then we've got the Desert Warriors. Their scaling on skill 1 just changed in the most recent balance patch, so it now scales with attack and HP, which makes a little bit more of synergistic sense for when you go to build one of these guys. And I still think that the light one could potentially work with the Water Slayer if you're planning on incorporating the buffed Borgnine into any of your comps. Moving right along, it's the